We have over 60,000 veterans regionally, probably 30,000+ active duty soldiers here in El Paso. The way we look at it is we kind of go back to our mission statement. Our mission is to deliver exceptional services to support a high quality of life and place for our community. Fort Bliss and our active duty service members, our veterans, they're our community members. We have the obligation to provide them exceptional services.
A few years ago, the El Paso community decided to go from a veteran-friendly community to a veteran-ready community. When we're veteran-ready, we make the promise to serve veterans and to hire them, to bring them into our community and embrace them, to ensure that their services from healthcare, from the employment perspective, from the education perspective, and truly providing those needs that veterans need and their families to ensure that we're a veteran-ready community.
It was the city of El Paso, it was the El Paso Chamber of Commerce, and it was the county of El Paso came together and made a veteran needs assessment. When we need to know more about transportation, homelessness, veteran businesses, we made it well-rounded to where we could actually get the true needs of our veterans, and then what are the barriers to services. One of the other things that we found in the El Paso Needs Assessment was access to care. Mental health services, well-rounded services that actually apply to the veteran that addresses their quality of life.
Endeavors recognizes that the stigma to receiving mental health care is real. So one of the things that we focus on is to reduce that stigma. Whenever we're out in the community, we're consistently talking about that receiving mental health care is as normal as going to see a dentist or going to see a doctor because you have a shoulder pain or back pain. So we want to ensure that it starts when service members are still wearing the uniform, and that conversation continues when they transition out of the military service.
The city of El Paso launched the Bridge Fellowship Program, and that Bridge Fellowship Program provides fellowships to transitioning service members, veterans, and military spouses, and connects them to any of the departments within the city of El Paso.
When it was time for me to get out, I was also pretty apprehensive about what would happen. I was stationed at El Paso a couple times at Fort Bliss, like a total of 7 years. And so I wanted to go someplace where I knew the community was welcoming. I knew I would be able to make contacts. I thought I'd be able to get some good employment. And I like Fort Bliss. I love Fort Bliss. I love El Paso, and I wanted to come back.
I was scared. I didn't know what to expect. When you're hardwired for so many years as a professional in the professional arms, it was very scary.
My mindset was just pure fear. Pure fear, because all I know is, at the time, all I knew was truck driving, some administrative work. What do I do with that? Like, how do I transition that out of a military mindset to actually continue service in the community and in life?
A lot of times when a service member transitions out of the military, they're lost. They're not sure which direction they want to go. They don't know what the next chapter in their life is because they are a part of something that's so big and so meaningful when they're in the military. Getting out is sometimes very fearful. So what they find is that when they come into the Bridge Fellowship is that we can connect them to continue with civil service. They're still giving back. They're giving back to their community now. They're still working for a government. It's a local government, but they're providing a service. It is amazing to watch a transitioning service member, a military spouse, get connected into something that they feel is incredibly meaningful.
By the time the fellowship was over, I knew all about Sun Metro. I knew all about mass transit. I knew every manager, director, everyone, all the way down to the drivers, to the mechanics. I knew almost every single person in that department. And so I had a very, very good working knowledge of it. And so by the time I actually transitioned and got out of the Army and through the Bridge Fellowship Program, I was able to move right into Sun Metro and hit the ground running.
I was first introduced with the Bridge Fellowship Program through LinkedIn. Some senior officials in El Paso reached out to me and said, hey, there's numerous jobs that we look for that can help veterans. I applied for them. I went on 2 or 3 interviews and selected for the specific Bridge Fellowship.
Being from El Paso And when I learned of the Bridge Fellowship Program, the bridge, like how fitting, growing up in El Paso and having family and on the Mexican side of the border, knowing full well that I would cross that bridge on a daily basis. But every single time I crossed the bridge, for me it was home. And I think that's what it did for me. It allowed me to come into this new career and start building a new home for me and my family.
What does the Bridge Fellowship do? It helps you cross the gap so you can get to the other side from military employment to civilian employment.
It sounds really good. Like you guys are successful.